everybody, I am Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, bringing you another video review. This week we're going to be reviewing this end mill. Yes, this is a 3/16 tungsten carbide 2-flute end mill. It's okay. We're not going to be reviewing it. Okay. No, actually, what we're going to be reviewing is this guy right here. Generation Toy Gorilla. Gorilla's actually really cool. This is on loan to me from a buddy of mine who got it from Titan One Toys. Definitely go to Titan One Toys for if you need to get something. See if he's got it. See if he can get it. Shoot him a message. You won't be sorry. So Beast Gorilla, or sorry, just Gorilla. Gorilla is it's kind of an interesting. I'm not like really sad that they made it because it's a really cool figure and I really like it. But on the one hand, like they kind of just ganked somebody's work, and I kind of feel bad about that. Basically, there's an artist who makes really cool looking drawings and whatnot. And he designed like a whole slew of these Transformers for an art book that he released, and then Generation Toy just was like, we're gonna do this. Like, I didn't even know about it till, he was browsing on the internet one day and somebody's like, hey, this looks just like that thing you designed. He's like, holy shit, that's totally that thing that I designed. And I don't know that that's the best way to go about what they did. But it is a really nice toy. So, I don't know. Hopefully at least they gave the guy like some samples or whatnot. I think that would be best. Anyhow, so this is Gorilla. This is based off of kind of a more mechanical looking Beast Wars Optimus Primal. I think it looks really good. The other designs in that art book, they were all like G1 robot modes and like Beast alt modes, like Sideswipe. He had like the G1 Sideswipe look, with the like big square chest and like he looked a lot like G1 Sideswipe, but then he turned into like some sort of like a freaking bull or something like that. So I don't know. This one kind of stuck out from the line in that it was basically Optimus Primal, but like more mechanized, which I think looks really great. When I was a kid, I never really cared for the Beast Wars because I guess I'm kind of like a G1er back then. And I was like, man, what's the point of Transformers if they don't turn into robots? Like turning into beasts didn't make any sense. But in all the time since then, whatever. But anyhow, he looks really good all around. He's got really good paint apps, really good sculpt work, really good. Like all the plastic looks really good. The plastic all has this like nice metallic flake in it. Kind of gives this metally looking sheen to it. Just really, really nice. In terms of accessories, he comes with 2 swords, which he does hold in his hand. You get the little pegs here, have a corresponding hole in the palm of his hand. Just kind of take this and plug it in, curl his fingers around that, and he's got himself some swords. If you really feel like it, you can take them and store them on the back here, on these tabs right here, like so. And you've got this thingamajig here, which you can take and plug these into that. Plug. And yeah, so there's that. This will fit in his hand just exactly the same way. Yep. Bumping my camera. My camera looks a little drunk this week. That's because I've got a new camera and it's got some sort of like image stabilization, like object tracking on it. And I'm not entirely certain if I like it yet. Gonna try it out. Watch this video after I make it and see how I feel about it. But yeah, the double-bladed sword thing, I don't know. Like, it never really made any sense to me. It just kind of like, it just seemed like an awkward weapon. I mean, I guess it worked for Darth Maul, but maybe that's like the only one that it ever really worked for. But anyhow, the only other accessory that it comes with is he's got a faceplate, because while in the show he had lips, the original toy came with a faceplate. So we're going to recreate that here. Just kind of take this and yank this off and slide this new one in. I always have difficulty with this one. Like, the other one goes in just fine, but this one seems to be a little bit of a bud. And yeah, I think it looks really good. Actually, I think it looks better than the mouth, but you know, I know that the lips are kind of iconic for him, so we'll swap it back out. That's it for his accessories. In terms of posability, his head is, it's not on a ball joint per se. It's on a universal joint and then a swivel. So it has like literally all the same posability as a ball joint. But I don't know. I guess it's not going to get loose over time. I think that's kind of a nice idea, actually. He's got his guns on his shoulders, which do go up. You can take this and fold them away completely by opening these panels here. And then these panels here. And then collapsing them down like this. And then swiveling them all the way around. And then putting it all back the way you found it. Like so. Now it's all folded away. Which I think makes for a sleeker looking robot mode. I like this mode. I like this look actually better than the guns out. I don't know. Sun's out, guns out, but I'm indoors, so whatevs. In terms of posability, I already mentioned his head. I mentioned the guns. He's got butterfly joint on his shoulder. Shoulder goes all around. You can move this sucker around. Arm goes all the way out. Bicep swivel here. Bend his elbow for about 90 degrees. He's got actually a lot of posability in his wrist. So his wrist has got your basic swivel, plus it bends this way, which is, I feel, essential for a good sword pose. Plus it bends this way. So a lot of posability in the fist. Also a lot of posability in the hands. It's got a ball joint here. Hinge joint, one hinge joint in the thumb. His first finger has got a hinge joint, hinge joint, hinge joint all the way around for a fully articulated finger. Same with his second finger. His third and fourth fingers, these just have two hinge joints in them and they're molded together. So he doesn't have like fully posable hands, but he's got hands that are basically as posable as you need them to be. Makes for a decent looking fist. Yeah. He does come with a waist joint, an ab crunch. His legs will go forward that far, go back that far. There is this panel on the inside of the leg that wants to pop off all the time. Actually, when I pulled this out of the box, it was completely popped off. Something to be aware of. I would have glued this if this was mine, but like I said, I'm borrowing this from a friend of mine. He's got a thigh swivel there. He's got a double jointed knee, but they really only allow for like 90-degree rotation. If you tuck this panel in here, extend this out and tuck this little panel in here, you can probably get a bit more. So be aware of that. Keep that in mind. Panels. His foot goes forward and back. It goes side to side. Tilts. You got some toe bendage going on. I do like this little articulating piston kind of thing. But yeah, that's it for Poseability. He does a lot of really good. I mean, he's got a lot of clicky joints in him, and I don't know. I have two minds about clicky joints. On the one hand, I think that they're good for stability. On the other hand, I think that they're bad for posing, because you only get so many different, angles that they want to go to. I think that this guy pulls it off fairly well. He has a lot of natural looking poses, and just looks really cool posed on the desk and whatnot. I've actually had him posed on my shelf. I borrow it, post it on my shelf for a while, review it, return it, etc., etc. But let's get him transformed up. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the arms, actually. So we're going to open this up. That's going to disconnect this tab from here and this port peg from here. We're going to extend this out and double joint. And now there's a peg right here and a slot in here. We're going to peg that into that slot. You'll notice that there also opens up some more Poseability like that. This is not accessible during robot mode. This is a beast mode joint only, and it's actually kind of cool. I'll get to that in beast mode, actually. Fold this down, and that's it for the arm. Do the same for the other arm. Open, double joint, close, close. I said close, damn you. There we go. Shoulder. We're going to pull out these butterfly joints. Now he's got MP10 arms, by the way. Super long. For this backpack, we're going to open up these panels just like we did just a minute ago. Open up these panels here. Rotate his waist around while we're thinking about it. So now that this part's floating free, what we're going to do is we're going to pull on this right here. This is going to start pulling all this out. Disconnect this front panel. Come on. Come on. Oh. That straight up disconnected all the way off. That had not happened to me before. But you know what? It just clips back on. This piece here looks like it's made out of polyoxymethylene, or POM as people like to call it. And so it's flexible and it just pops right back on. So we've disconnected this, pulled it down. Now we're going to take this and we're going to bring this panel up, rotate it around, and bring it back down. There's his face. And now this panel here is going to come up, and this panel behind the head is going to come up, and they're going to meet. And they're going to tab together. Yay! Now we're going to take this and bend this all the way back. And it's important that you do that, because this chest section, which is easier to push out from the back, by the way, when you were rotating it, when you were transforming this into his robot mode, this panel will go in that much, but no further. And it makes it so you can't do this. You have to tip the head all the way back. That allows you to push this all the way through. And this is the proper configuration for it. But we're going back into beast mode, so we're not going to worry about that as much. Push, 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 push. Alright, for this one, this pec is going to rotate out. This pec is going to fold out. And that's his pecs right there. We're going to take this and extend this up. Peg that into place. This little thingamajig here is going to fold up. There is a corresponding hole right here. And it's going to peg into there. And it'll probably come unpegged later, but you know, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it as we get to it. For these panels here, we're going to so you've got this panel right here, and then there's a secondary panel in here that's going to come out on a double hinge like that, just kind of accordion out. Now we're going to put this back into place a bit. You may notice that there are two tabs here, two little slots, and basically this backpack sits slightly lower in Gorilla mode than it does in robot mode, and it sits a little closer into the back. So before, this little peg here, which you can't see, this little peg here was pegging into this one on the outer side, but now it's going to be pegging into the inner one. And then these are just going to come in. By the way, this is, I want to point out that some other reviewers have mentioned these parts here picked out in silver. These are not picked out in silver. These are actually machined out of aluminum. This is an actual machined aluminum part. Some people might indiscriminately call it die cast. It's not technically die cast. This is just straight up just aluminum, and it gets machined on there on a lathe, probably a CNC lathe. But all right, and then we're going to take this part here and extend it out and down. It's going to cover up his butt. There's actually, and this is going to be nearly impossible to see because I can't even really see it. Inside here there's a little tab, and that tab will fit into this slot, this kind of triangular looking slot. That'll fit into there. That'll make his butt go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to push on these little panels here to recess that in. We're going to fold his knee up. Actually, I'm going to leave that there for now. We're going to open this, fold this in, and then close it again. So we've got this panel slides in and it sits right on top of that little silver panel. Let's open up the sides of his knee. And this has got a little double joint in here. Bring that up. Close it again. There is, by the way, a series of corresponding tabs. Let's see if I can get a good angle on that. Here and in here. And so this peg here is just going to go into the lower slot now. We're going to extend out this toe a little bit, extend out these toes, and then flip this back in. And we're going to do the same with the other leg real quick. Extend them, fold these out, bam, bam, double joint, close this. extend out the toes, fold in that other toe, and then we're going to bring these all the way up and fold this joint. And there's that panel falling off again. So this is a point where I wish that he had better thigh swivels. A better thigh swivel in robot mode would have given him, oops, there goes that panel again. Better thigh swivel in robot mode would have given him a better like A stance in this mode, but we are just gonna deal with it as best as we can. And there we go. I'm gonna extend this out because now he's a monkey. So he's gonna pose in on his knuckles, his nooks. There he is in his mecha beast mode. And again, he looks really, really cool. Just really sharp looking. Everything on him is just sculpted really well. I guess getting a call cuts off my video, so that makes sense, I suppose. Anyhow, in this mode, articulation is pretty much all the same. You got a head swivel here, up and down here. He's got an opening mouth, showing off his monkey teeth. All the articulation in the arm is just the same, with the inclusion of this joint here, which is really good for like banging on his chest, because you get a huge bend out of that. So he can be like banging on his chest and you're like, ah. Not much articulation in the leg. You've got, due to the transformation, you really only make use of this lower joint, which is really just good for moving things around. His feet like always seem to be fighting with each other. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, or whatnot. I don't know. But I always seem to be having issues with his feet just being really close together. I kind of counter that by moving his legs out one click when I put him into this. Same articulation in the feet. Poseability. And yeah, he's really cool. Like I'm digging this figure. I'm looking forward to seeing what other stuff comes out of this line. I sure hope that they have come to some sort of a good agreement with the artist, that the artist is getting compensated in some way for this. I really kind of feel for him. But as a toy, this is actually really good. But furthermore, I will point out that I think I am going to turn off the drunken mode on my camera, because that's just really weird. Anyhow, everybody, thanks for watching. Hopefully you don't get too seasick watching this video. I'll see you around. Catch you in the next one. And I love you. I'll talk to you later. See ya. Bye.